Alrighty, this is my most favorite topic. I think the one that I'll really enjoy talking about: how to crack an interview mindfully. This video is a part of my 35 before 35 series, and I'll link up the video where I talk about what it is all about here. Do take a look. So let's get started. In my entire career graph, I might have easily screened close to 3,000 plus campus grads from all across the globe. And fundamentally, it's the same thing that I see most of them battle and fail at. I thought I might as well spill the beans here today and share what could be going wrong if you are not able to crack an interview. The precursor for this video is, I'm assuming you're good with your basic fundamental concepts related to your domain and you have an interview call in hand. Let's talk about what are those things that your interviewer is looking for. In this case, what do I look for either when I was working as a global recruiting head or as a CXO or as a founder of a company? These are things you should know and something no recruiter ever would have told you. I will tell you those secrets today from the other side of the table, so brace yourself. 1. When you're asked a certain question, try to be as honest as possible on how much you know. Do not try to make up or cook up things. It in fact will cause more harm than stay in your favor. Learn to stick to what you know and accept what you don't know. It really shows how honest you are. That's what the recruiter is also gauging. 2. Remember, the person interviewing you is yet another human being. Do not panic by knowing their designation or by looking at them. In fact, this is a skill that you have to build over time. Remember to do a lot of grounding and resilience exercises regularly before your campus placements begin. Especially if you're going to be in a customer-facing role, it's important that you know how to handle strangers in work life. In case you want to start off with mindfulness exercises, I'll link up the entire playlist for you here. Do take a look at it. 3. Know what's on your resume. I can easily give you hundreds of examples where I ask the candidate about their vision or objective for their professional life and they fail to even put it into words, but they would have written a fancy statement on their resume. Remember, your resume should be in all honesty just about you and not someone else's. 4. One thing that your recruiter will for sure check with you is which other interviews have you attended and where do you stand. This could be for various reasons, but in all honesty, I ask, or most of us ask this question to see how well do you keep a tab on your performance and how quickly do you learn. So be true. Let your interviewer know truly what rounds happened, where you excelled and where you failed, and what could be the reason. Trust me, this will give you more brownie points than you saying, I have not attended any other interview, especially if your campus has a lot of campus drives going on. 5. Genuinely do your research about your company you're applying for very, very well. I've often seen a lot of candidates who fail to even know the basics about the recruiting organization and they just attended without doing their basic research. When you show this attitude, it clearly indicates to the interviewer, in this case me, that you're not serious about this profile even if it is otherwise. 6. When your recruiter is giving you options and asking you to pick the one that you may like, ask questions, a lot of questions. That question the recruiter is asking you is to gauge you on how you handle a googly. It's not about how you please the interviewer saying, I'm okay with anything, sir, or I think I'll pick this one without knowing what the reason is. But what your recruiter is looking for is how do you make a choice, and here what points will you take into consideration while you make that choice, which will shadow your decision making capability. And 7, oh yeah, when asked, tell me about yourself, for God's sake, don't read that poem your placement officer taught you. It doesn't work. It'll sound so fake that your interviewer will misjudge you in the very first minute. In fact, tell them the answer in your way with all honesty. I've seen a few students who have a wonderful vocabulary and fluency in this particular first question, and thereafter they fail to understand the questions too. So don't confuse the recruiter. This question sets the bar. Set it right. And 8, another dreadful mistake you make is when you answer the question, what are your weaknesses? Come on, don't do that blunder of converting your strengths and tell them as weaknesses. It really doesn't help. Your recruiter is smart too. You do this, then you're showing your recruiter how nicely can you lie. And lastly, don't get disheartened if you don't get selected. Remember, it's always not about you. Maybe the company's requirements were different, and maybe you were the kind of talent that was so good that the recruiter knew that they cannot retain this kind of talent for a long time. Yes, that could also be the reason. That could also be one of the reasons that, most of us do not land into our first jobs very quickly in the first go. So there you go. In case you have any questions related to what we spoke about today, drop it in the comment section below. I'll be very happy to help you. By the way, come over. I think you should also know about these topics. I wanted to continue our chat with you there. See you soon.